All right, so welcome to another episode here, and today we're going to go ahead and check out Groupon. It's moving a little bit higher, and I want to give you some takes and insight on this. Keep in mind, it's not a recommendation to buy, sell, or trade. It's just my own personal opinion, so I'll give you some thoughts on it. And if you want to request your own stocker or ticker symbol to evaluate and do a stock analysis on, check out the Discord group, and you can request your own ticker symbol. All right, so let's kick things off here with Groupon. Groupon, if you don't know what it is, it's basically buying a coupon, kind of like the old entertainment books, and the stock makes a bunch of money, obviously, but from a stock perspective, it's not doing as well as it could be. So if you look at actually Groupon stock, and you look at the price over the last like 5 years, this stock actually has been going down quite a bit. So it's been a bit troubling from 2018 to 22. It's just been climbing down. So when you really look at this from a investment or trading perspective, like what is it that you do? Like right now, the stock is powering higher, and this looks all good and great. But is it really going to turn into something different or pan out or that kind of thing? Well, it could get acquired. You could always see something like Activision with Microsoft. So the same thing here. I mean, yeah, it has a potential where it could get acquired. But let's just look at the overall chart. So the stock had an IPO. We had kind of like a huge price tag. Obviously, there was a split, 1 share for every 20. You got, 1 for 20 split there. And that's usually when companies are trying to pump up the stock price because it's tough, right? Because it's basically tough to prop the stock price. So for every 1 share, you got 20 shares. So that really bumped the stock price. I guess people were happy about it, so it moved it into higher prices. But overall, the stock's been continuing lower, so it's not been doing well. Anytime we get there, there's resistance. Where would you get into the stock, or where would I get into it from a longer term perspective, right? From a longer term perspective, I'd wait till it clears kind of this breaking descending trend line. And that's when I would say I'd probably look at nibbling at this point, or nibbling at that point for a longer term investing. So that's maybe the approach. Is if you look at kind of the weekly chart, we still have that downward trend line, right? Now you still have some of this upward trend that's happening, but right now, yeah, it looks powerful. It looks like the move is moving there. But look, we had all this up here, and then that stock came crashing down, and that was a 2-year time frame. So again, think about it. Are you trading today, or are you trading like over the next week or month or years of this stock? So as I really look into it, yeah, we've got some volume coming in. Yeah, it's a good day, and it's been a couple of good days here in Groupon, but we're still just kind of breaking out of the sideways range, and we don't know if this will kind of come here and roll back over. So keep that in mind as you look into this. So here it is. Look, big up moves. Could be something's going on. You definitely have to watch out. There's earnings kind of right around the corner. That's a bit of a problem. What is it, 224, I believe here. But definitely double check. My data is not always correct on these till a little bit later as we get into earnings. And I usually have to double check it with kind of a couple of different platforms just to be sure. So as you look into it, yeah, watch out for earnings. So here it is, Groupon. What is the earnings? Probably 224. Yeah. So that one is correct. My earnings are in 224. And right now it looks like, hey, it could pop. I would watch out for a higher price level here. Where you're going to get maybe some resistance. Right now in the short term, it looks bullish, right? For the short term, it looks great. For the medium, long term, not so good. So if you're getting it like as a trade only, like, hey, I put a little bit of cash in there, throw a nibble, a little bit of money, and see what happens. Yeah, that's fine. Would I get it as a long-term investment? Probably not. So it's definitely one of those things where I probably nibble on it. It's not going to go into the moon or anything, stratosphere right now, unless you get kind of an acquiring or acquisition of some sort, and that's maybe where things could look really good. But right now, still got this descending trend line on the longer term. If we break through that, around the $50 level, that's maybe where the buying spot is for the longer term investor. For the shorter term trader, right now, it actually looks pretty good. We look pretty happy because obviously there's some massive buying that's coming in. It looks pretty massive buying power. But that is for the shorter term. And shorter term could be just up until we get to this $40 price level, $50, $60 price level, where we start getting into this toppy areas where there's some resistance, and that's where a lot of the trades have taken place. So that's where you're going to see some of that resistance overhead. And to get there, you'll probably power higher, pull back a bit, and do that multiple times if it's able to do that. So just be careful. For a trade, this might work out. For the long term, it's still acting quite weak, so be a little bit more nimble on the price action here. Anyways, thanks for joining me. Be sure to check out the Traders Fly channel if you're interested in looking at option trades and learning a little more about options. Then in that case, you'll learn a lot more trading options. And then I'll see you in the next video and episode. So thanks again for joining me. I'll see you next time.